mongering or watched different YouTubes or whatever for the simple fact of seeing some of the women and things like that. So I'm not even going to front. Some of that stuff was entertainment for real. Especially after the pandemic or during the pandemic. Um, a lot of that was what it was. We was watching everything that was coming on TV, everything that was on YouTube or whatever, because everybody was going through phases in their life trying to just get through, get by. You know what I'm saying? By watching whatever was on TV, and then YouTube really became real popping. Real popping because you know everybody wanted something different, wanted a different outlook on different things, and trying to see what was going on in other countries. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, too, what was really something is watching other people's lives on YouTube, even during the pandemic. Trying to see how people was moving, how they was doing, and everything else. And a lot of that, the passport situation was dead. You know what I'm saying, during COVID almost, or you hear about individuals being stuck in different countries and stuff like that, or not able to leave or whatnot, which I haven't heard too many um, uh, overseas on Instagram. I mean, on YouTube that's been stuck or whatever like that. And I haven't been watching um, YouTube a whole lot during the pandemic. I watched it some, but I did watch, several different YouTubers or whatever like that, or just different shows or different information and stuff like that. I really never um, really got locked into a lot of the stuff, but I shortly, you know, started watching content and everything like that, and just going from there, seeing what was good, what was going on, and but and moving accordingly, But it's just like so many people getting involved with the passport phrase or phase, however you want to put it. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not gonna front. Like, I used to watch some of the stuff. I mean, and just seeing men of color going, to places like, Russia, um, places like that where you wouldn't think men of color would go. So that really fascinated me about the art of travel and the reasons why individuals would travel and stuff like that. So I always wanted to see the Arctic glaciers and different things like that. I went to Alaska just to go, whale watching, what I mean, and stuff like that. I did a 7-day cruise, going to Alaska to watch whales, um, stuff like that. I don't have any footage of that. Like at that time, I was videoing and just letting my videos go and not, putting it out there. But you know, every time I go somewhere where I can whale watch, I don't care if it's in Jersey or Jersey Shore or anywhere, Hawaii, anywhere. I try to do things to where swim with the dolphins. That's what I'm trying to do next. But actually, when I was in Cabo, whale watching season is like uh, November, December. I think it was more so December. Whale watching, you can go see some nice whale footage in Cabo. You can go and get nice whale footage. Jersey Shore, you could definitely get nice whale footage in Alaska. Alaska. Well, I did that on a cruise. I really wanted to plan on doing a cabin type situation and go out there because it's stuff that as a man of color some of us just don't do. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to hit people to not being you know a passport crash dummy and getting all wrapped up into the women aspect and the beauty of the women and all of this type of stuff. There's a whole lot more things out there than just women. You hear me? It's adventure, it's history, it's architecture, it's uh, art, it's music, it's the culture, it's the food, it's just a whole vibe. Like, I've been on a hunt almost all my life trying to find the aurora. Actually going to see the northern lights, and I keep on missing it. It's like something you can't just catch. Like, I wanted to check it out in Norway. I wanted to check it out, see if I can catch it in Canada. I've been trying to catch the Arctic. Catch the aurora, the Northern Lights for a minute. Like, and one of these days within my lifetime, I hope to do it. Now, that's what I'm saying. Some of us can thrive off of things like that and wanting to travel to see things like that, acts of nature that are phenomenons. And that's something that we all should want to actually be involved with, wanting to see. That's something natural that God has given us that is beautiful. So at the end of the day, it's more to life than just women. It's more to life than just 304s and just trying to hunt women down and stuff like that. There's more to life. And once you fulfill yourself and understand those things, fulfill yourself with knowledge or fulfill yourself with traveling and architecture and culture and everything like that. It's so much stuff going on. You ain't gonna just get locked into just women. Why? It's a lot to life. It's more to life than just women. Now I know women are an integral fact in our life as heterosexual men. Point blank, period. But at the end of the day, your happiness doesn't come from just one thing. You know what I mean? And then you got people going overseas crashing out over 304s or crashing out over women in general. Like, come on, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that just show you that you ain't had much game in the U.S. But yet you go overseas and get your heart broke. But how many times you done got your heart broke in the U.S.? Come on, be real. Look at you. I mean, come on, man. And I know some people said it real good in their videos, man. Especially Paul. You know what I'm saying? Travel Time with Paul saying, and I stress it too. If you lame in the U.S. here at home, if you lame here at home, you're gonna be lame abroad. You're gonna be no good abroad. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I post content for people to hear and understand. And I think, like, and I give like educational pieces too, because it's from my experience of going places and doing things too. Especially the most recent was Belize, Thailand. What was the other one that was here more recently in the latter part of 2025? Like, okay, I'm not stationed where I'm living at the moment out of the country. I'm not stationed at the moment for that, but I am moving towards those things, you know. But I like people look at me, be like, "Yo," they try to figure out how old I am, and that's cool too. I'm not dying nothing. I'm not dying my beard. I'm not dying nothing. It is what it is. It's just grown and handsome. You feel me? At the end of the day, you like it, you love it. You don't, scoot. Roll out, kick rocks. But for the real ones, hey, that's what it is. Um, y'all, I did a spin on things. I bought me a lime, so I did a matcha lemonade with peach juice, double blended, and I bought me a lime from the store to add in it, fresh lime. Y'all know I gotta put that Caribbean DNA in there, boy. I put that fresh lime in there. Oh my goodness. Mm. Y'all don't have no idea. It's good. But yeah, it doesn't pay out. It doesn't pay off to just have your mindset just focus on women. People go overseas and these guys wasting hundreds of dollars. I ain't gonna say thousands, because if it's thousands of dollars overseas or women, and shame on you. You should feel ashamed. I mean, really, because at the end of the day, I mean, you spinning your wheels in a territory that's already marked and already chartered. It's not uncharted territory. It's not unmarked territory. That territory is for everybody that jumps in the soils. You know what I mean? I'm at, and then it's kind of crazy and kind of hard because a lot of these individuals, they you gotta understand, they look at things a different way than we look at. We look at here in America that It's not a good thing. It's not really work. It's considered selling peach sleeve or 304 and is illegal here and all of these things, and it is there too in a sense, but they allow it because the economy, you know what I mean. And then it's sad to say that these 304s, they taking it as a real job. Like they taking it as a real job. Can you think about how you have to numb yourself mentally to do this every day and every night? I mean, bro, like emotionally, you are numbing yourself every day and every night to take on a new shaft, to take on a new zucchini, to take on a new banana every night, multiples, doubles. Like, bro, come on, man. And this is something you crying and crashing out about? Bro, man, these people, they don't these individuals don't have they've trained themselves to numb themselves, y'all. Like, keep it real. On to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Their mindset is different. Their mindset is totally different. You gotta think about it. You have to really do some serious training. And if you really go through that kind of situation and you numb yourself to that extent, now I done been through some stupid experiences, traumatic experiences, relationship experiences that were crazy. You feel me? And that, kind of gave me tough skin, made me a little numb to things to where I don't get caught up in the stupidity and craziness and relationship drama or whatever like that. And I think when I've been through my first situation, when I was first married, I think that was the biggest hurt that I've been through. I think that was the biggest hurt that I've been through. And I was married for 14 years. So that once I got past that big hurt, you feel me? Once I got past that, man, my skin just got tough. You know what I mean? My skin just got tough from that point. And then I tried it again. But this was a whole lot different scenario, way less period of time together, and way worse than the first. But being that been through what I've been through, I was already vet and tested and trained. At that point, I was already good. Like, okay, it is what it is. Okay, let me do what I need to do to keep the peace and keep myself healthy and keep my mind straight because I'm not crashing out over this. Come on, man. And that was whole relationship, whole real relationships. You feel me? But the things you go through is enough to make you have PTSD for real, make you crash out in a real relationship, in a real relationship, not a 304 ship. Y'all hear that? Not a 304 ship. And for the ignorant passport bros, that's a relationship with a 304. Listen again. That's a relationship with a 304. Not gonna happen. Like, come on, man. Let's keep it real. Keep it a buck. Y'all should know better. I mean, and to say, oh, that was content, that was content. Nah, that wasn't just content, homie. That was real talk. That was real. Travel time with Paul, bruh. He hit that joint out the park. When he showed me that joint, Tom Yum, LaChum, Shawty, when you did that part and the little fake, hey man, don't call that dude Jamaican. He not Jamaican at all. My folks are Jamaican and Trinity. That dude was straight African. He was not Jamaican and Trinity. He was lame. I'm at the whole episode showed lame people. And Tom Young was like, it's my turn. I'll grab her out. Then dude was like, no, she mine. She said, I'm a butterfly. Now, y'all heard that? You go back and watch Travel Time with Paul. And Paul said, and he even paused it, I think. But whenever a woman of Asian descent in the Orient tells you that they're a butterfly, they might as well call themselves a bee. It's the same thing. They going from flower to flower, getting nectar, the sweetness of the nectar out of the flower. So every flower has sugar, right? Every flower has nectar, right? That these bees travel to and they pollinate, right? So it's called cross pollination, right? So when these bees go from flower to flower, the flower benefits them with nectar. The bee benefits the flower for reproducing and helping the seeds travel and pollinate the seeds in the flower by carrying pollen to each one of the flowers, and the flower in return gives its nectar, right? So these women are giving their nectar, and the men are trying to pollinate without procreate. So you wasting yourself running around with these 304s that love to taste the nectar on every flower. They not holding still. If you look at a butterfly don't even fall fly in a straight line. You show me one butterfly that flies in a straight path. Not even a bee. They don't fall. They don't fly in the straight path. Matter of fact, they fly all over the place. They from flower to flower. The only thing that's consistent is that flower. So that's basically saying that men are always going to be around, and she's always going to be around to get that honey. So at the end of the day, don't be a passport dummy. If that rhyme, like it. Trademark it. Put it on the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Put that on a t-shirt. Since y'all want to do something, put it put don't be a passport clown. Yeah, make that shirt. How about making a shirt saying matter of fact, my slogan, you know what I mean, that I put up here, you know what I mean? Don't be a crash out. Don't be a passport crash out. I mean, yo, y'all do it to yourself. I mean, at the end of the day, trying to be the best you could be is what we all want to strive to do, right? But at the end of the day, some people just love being spectacles, love getting attention. I guess some people say negative attention and good attention, as long as it's attention, is good for ratings. Man, nah, bro, not me. You do you. Like, I'll sit here and I'll laugh at you, but don't get mad when somebody like myself critique you or criticize or say certain things because you put yourself in that environment. So at the end of the day, it's all about how you view yourself, champ. If you view yourself less, view yourself as value less, or do you value yourself as valuable? Value yourself as valuable, or do you value yourself as value less? So think about that. I mean, think about the mindset you have to have. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna mention no names because it really hurt me, and it was a homeboy of mine. I'm not gonna say where he worked for because it made the news, and it's also who I work for. So I'm not gonna mention that. But here in my city, he had a major crash out over a woman. This individual was a barber and a good friend of mine, and I actually helped him get his job. Um, Doing what he did, that he made his main career, but he was still trying to cut hair, right? So what it was he had trouble with relationships, right? He was always in another relationship. Something would go left, he would find another woman and be with her. Something would go left with her, he'll find another woman and be with her. It was like he always had a backup plan to the backup plan. Sounds good though, right? It's like he almost had a backup plan to every backup plan. So if this woman didn't do right, he had somebody else to go to. If this woman didn't do right, he had somebody else to go to. But that wasn't the way to live. He basically crashed out over the fact that he couldn't get it right. He kept dealing with so many women and they were doing him wrong in so many ways. I don't know what when you go to a barber, you sit in a chair and you homies with them and they cutting your hair and they talking to you. Hey yo, let me tell you, yo, this. I mean, this dude done bought pit bulls from me, bit dogs from me, and stuff. I didn't help them throw parties at their barbershop for their clients, like after hours, late night joints, DJing the music and helping them get some events together and stuff. And but he would call, he would talk to me every time I come, or call me sometimes, and talk to me about these women. And this one woman he worked with did him wrong. He came home. Um, she had a dude in the bedroom. Y'all know the rest, right? This other woman, she was cheating on him. I'm like, bro, how many situations? He bought this nice little red convertible joint, old school busing joint. Joint was fire. Something happened with that. He went and bought a house, had this other one living with him. She wasn't doing right. So this dude just built up so many crash out moments that he just got to a breaking point, that he snapped, y'all. He straight snapped. He went on a spree. He went on a spree, y'all. He went on a spree, and he had a list. You hear me? And that was my man, and I never would have thought. You feel me? I never would have thought. So I'm coming up there to find out, is he good? They told me, yo, he just left the barber shop. He just left, this and this and this, bro. He had whatever all on him, this and that and the third. Man, I'm like, I'm trying to get up there to see if I could talk to him and talk some sense into him and, just help him, try to get him to stop. You know what I mean? That hurt me. I ain't even go on no more with that story. I'ma just say like this, man. The matters of the heart are serious, bro. When a person is really in a relationship, listen to me, really in a relationship. We're not talking 304ship. We talking about a real relationship. So this dude was in relationships over and over with these women, bro, and just couldn't get it right, man. And he ended up losing his life. You know what I mean? Ended up losing his life, but he also took some lives. Sad to say, y'all. And he was ready for war. He was ready for war. If they didn't stop him, he was about to he was about to have a standoff, like for real. And then these was real women that he knew, worked with, was dating. Um, that had really good careers, did all of this, and that's here in the U.S. This happened. You know what I mean? I ain't mentioning where, I ain't mentioning no job, I ain't mentioning no names and nothing like that. But if y'all on here and y'all know me, y'all know what I'm talking about. Most of y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's like this, man. Why would you crash out over nothingness? Why would you sit there and put yourself in that whole? I mean, and you said, I mean, bro, I would have told him cut, man. Forget the footage. Like, nah, we ain't doing this. Now, if you did it for ratings and all that, nah, bro, that wasn't just ratings. That wasn't just, you know, okay, let's just do this. Nah, that was real. That was real. Homeboy crashed out for real. Looked like he started smoking yams. Looked like he started rolling up. He might be smoking woodies. Who knows? But the whole point is, bro, like 304 ships. You can't be in no 304 ship, buddy. You can't be in a 304 ship. Yeah, trademark that. 304 ship. You might as well say for all the passport bros, I'm in 304 ship. I'm in a 304 ship. Meaning I love 304s. I'm at, because at the end of the day, if you gotta go on a dating app and pull these women, what you think they doing? I guarantee you 99.9% of those on a dating app are freelancers or man boys or lady boys. I guarantee you that 99.9% of the women on the dating apps are freelancers. If they're not freelancers, they will sell it. So you can give me a good look. You know what I mean? You could sit down and talk to whoever. They could look banging. They could look bad. And at the end of the night, you with them, this and this. That's passport bro behavior. You know what I mean? That's passport bro behavior. But I'm not saying I'm not saying that. Look, enjoy your life in private, enjoy your life, however you see fit for your life to go. You know what I'm saying? That ain't for me. And that's why I said I'm not taking on that title as a passport bro, because I'm not. That's not what I do. I don't go running all over now. I might check things out, do all of this, but I'm not here for nobody's personal amusement and and exploitation, showing exploitation of women and you can, or you got a little coins in your pocket from the US and you just want to burn a hole in your pocket and see how many women you can get and all of this. Man, come on. And then you got YouTubers putting stuff out there talking about they cannons. Like it's real. It's real out here. It's real out here. I never thought that it would. Man, I never thought I would see something like that. People putting a personal business or basically having an STD on social media on the World Wide Web, talking about how many STDs they got, and it could have been AIDS. We don't know what it is. I mean, and then this person is just. I mean, these people. It's just crazy, bro. Not protecting themselves in foreign countries. It don't even matter a foreign country, period. Not even protecting themselves, being cautious. They don't care, man. It's like, oh, I'm overseas. And this is people that you would have thought would have been doing things respectable, got teaching jobs overseas, trying to teach children English, trying to teach whatever, whatever. And at the end of the day, they reckless. Their life is in shambles. I mean, I mean, I mean, what can I say, man? Some people just live differently, and they don't care how they live. You feel me? They just do what they do and just keep on living how they live. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pay for your actions because there are always consequences. That's just like math. That's like science. For every positive, there's a negative or positive reaction. For every negative, there's a negative or positive reaction. Or for every reaction, I should say. Let me correct that. Let me correct that. For every action, there's a negative or positive reaction. Let me reiterate and say that again, just like science. For every one action, there is a positive or negative reaction, conclusion, result, finale. It's your choice. It's your choice. So you are the one who narrates your story. It's your story. Tell it. It's your story. Live it. I can't say nothing, but you can't fault me as a man for calling it out for what it is. At the end of the day, I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the likes. I mean, I do, but I don't. You get what I'm saying? If I'm gonna keep it real with you and tell you how I feel, I'm gonna keep it real, and I expect you to do the same with me. I don't expect Passport Bro to keep it real with me, but I would want to be real with myself and be real to y'all. And if they had something real to put out there about me, put it out there. Put the real out there, about me. Just keep it real. At the end of the day, just be easy, be you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. It's just so much stuff you could talk about and go over and over again. I mean, you would think it's like right here in the United States, when you have a respectable job, when you have a job that's viewed by the government, federal government or state, you have a certain criteria and lifestyle or public appearance you got to uphold. You can't be doing stupid stuff out in the streets. You can't be doing a whole lot of craziness because that can make you lose your job real quick. I mean, you still got union protection and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, all right, we got that or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, If you make the news, if it's real serious offense, if it's something like domestic violence, if it's something like searching 304s and all, look at your reputation and look at everything you ruin as a person of color that's living here that has to meet certain requirements and standards and public image depending on your job. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you know, when you live a certain way and you have a certain type of job, um, you can't afford to be doing reckless, foolish, dumb stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just me. I'm not going to choose reckless, dumb stuff that can interfere with my life, my real life. I mean, whatever I'm gonna put out there is gonna be my real life. You know, things I deal with, things I encounter, things I face. You know, some of these crash dummies out here, they can crash and be dumb all they want because they ain't got really much to live for, or I ain't gonna say much to live for. They ain't got much to lose. You know, they can, lose their little government job overseas or lose their little teaching job overseas and find another teaching job. Or they can work online, and come home. They can work online for coins or whatever like that. But I'm not losing my job, my pension, my anything, and my social outlook and status just to run around, do some dumb stuff in a foreign country, put it on YouTube, and then get criticized and look crazy over doing that stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta have some morals about yourself. You gotta have you know, some kind of filter, bro. At some point, you gotta have a filter. Sad to say, a lot of these passport bros don't have a filter. You know what I mean? And they saying, "Oh, it ain't no women here in the U.S. It ain't no this and this." Guess what, bro? It ain't no women for you because you lame. If you had conversation, if you look decent, if you held a respectable job and did respectable things, even in public, don't you think it'd be easy for you to find a nice woman here in the U.S.? I believe so, from any color. That's why I know a couple of Filipinos and a couple of Thai women that live in the U.S. I know a lot of Latino women, Mexicans that live in the U.S., even in my city. I know a lot of Africans from Ghana, pretty, in this country, in my area. I mean, bro, like at the end of the day, you're going wrong because of your mindset. And then you talking about you want a woman, that's traditional. Guess what? A traditional woman is not going to want you because a traditional woman is going to want her culture, traditional things. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. If you're overseas looking for something that you can't get here, and you're only looking because you're leading with money. You're leading with money, you're going to get what you ask for. Bro, I can take you to a couple of places in Phuket. I could take you to a couple of places in Bangkok. I could take you to a couple of places in Pattaya and introduce you to some real women, not 304s, real women that I've become friends with and that follow me. Let's see. Okay. Folks in Brazil. Folks in, I got a lot of folks, a lot of places, man. Like, but at the end of the day, it's just funny. Some people say, "Oh, you ain't in another country right now. You reporting from Star Beazle or from your house or from your rooftop." Or what. I've been a lot of places, bro. You see this girl here? I've been a lot of places. I may not have been to a lot more places than you have been, but I guarantee you this for sure that the places I go to, everywhere I go, is people of substance there, people with careers there, people that aren't just 304s and on dating apps or anything like that. You know what I mean? Real people with real jobs, with real careers, making good money. People who own beauty salons, not just one, several. people who work for banks, people who work for their government in their country, uh, are basically politicians too. Um, man, and for people to say, okay, okay, da, 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 you want a traditional woman, that traditional woman don't want you, bro. You're not gonna find that. All you're gonna find is the soys, bro, because that's what you're leading with. You're leading with coins. You're leading with hopping in bars. You're leading with all the negative stuff that you could have done here in the U.S. You could have went to Cali and did that. You could have went to D.C. and did that. You could have went to New York and did that. You could have went to Arizona, anywhere in the U.S. and found what you find in over there. But yet you do it over there because you think it's going to be so inexpensive and so this to do this and that and live and find 304s and then have 304 every night and all this kind of stuff. And it, that's exploitation. Can I say it? Did I say that? Did I? That's exploitation. Wait, echo. Is there an echo in here? Exploitation, that's exploitation, exploitation. You are exploiting women. So basically, that's what you're doing with your U.S. dollar, exploiting women, bro. So I can sit down and have a real conversation. I could just, hey, I could be randomly walking with you, right? I could be randomly walking with you, see a group of people, go over, talk. By me talking in the first 15 minutes, and if I add some of the language that I've learned and laugh and we talking, I guarantee you I can still be cordial, have a good relationship with that group of people, and find a good one in that bunch or two that want to chill, hang down, hang out, sit down, talk, do an interview, whatever. You'll see. You'll see. But the whole point is, and I keep it a buck and keep it cool. And just put it right on front line and say what I'm gonna say, get them to understand what I'm doing and who I am as a person. And at the end of the day, I get everything I need. You don't have to lead with money for communication or getting to know somebody. And that's what a lot of uh, that passport clowns do, because that's how that environment in which these people live is based off of. It's based off the coin. Let's just keep it real. It's based off the coin. So I'm at to each his own, man. I know it's like you got to get the people what they want, get the people what they paying for, get the people what they used to you doing and seeing. And I'm glad for feeding people good ideas for their content. I'm a chef anyway, so I chef up food. So okay, you see food in my videos. You might see pretty women and food in my videos. You might see me on the beach with a coconut and women passing. Oh, well, there ain't no offense in that. Women passing, they gotta walk. I got them in the shot. They in the shot. You might see me talking to some. Or then again, you might see some walking in front of me. I'm not talking to them, but I have a good time with them because they on my Instagram. While we on like a excursion or whatever, meet Muslims, meet everybody, like being everything to everyone. And I don't isolate anybody. You know what I'm saying? I put everybody in the same cluster until you get me wrong, until you move different. Once you move different, I'm moving different. I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hang around too much for the stupidness. You know what I mean? And I don't have no cameraman, no camera woman, or no camera throw forward, manning my camera and doing all that kind of stuff. All my videos I'm doing 100%, by myself. You know what I mean? And I understand people saying, well, it's good to have, this, a traveling buddy, or it's good to have this and this and this. But at the end of the day, I put it like this: when you die by yourself, right? That's how I feel my content gonna be, by myself. Period. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. Because some things, like I said, I was looking at from another perspective. Because I was watching. I ain't gonna front. I was watching. I mean, a lot of them had some nice looking women, some sweet content, um, a lot of stuff like that. But you know, at one point, I was allowing my mind to get me just set and struck off of, you know, the hype or the beauty and everything like that. Like everybody else, you know, oh, she baddie, she a baddie, oh, she straight. You know, just giving people a vision, letting them see, you know, but that's not necessarily giving the real deal of how it is and what's going on. That's just giving them an idea of what they can find out there on dating apps, or if they go to clubs, or if they whatever. You know what I mean? And like I was telling Travel Time with Paul, man, I've been through some of the situations he been through, which is funny, you know what I mean? But at the same point of time, is learning your boundaries and doing what you can to keep yourself grounded, because you can easily be a part of the whirlwind or the rat race. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be a passport clown. You don't want to be a passport dummy. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on what's what. And one thing I'm loving and getting to understand about these countries now, they really tighten it up on stuff like on passport dummies or passport clowns coming over because they know that this is what these people going to do. But they come over there try to get a visa. Okay, they're not old enough to get a retirement visa, so they get an educational visa. Educational visa lasts for a year, but then some of them they just stay over there for the 3 months or the 90 days or whatever. They might renew it, they may not renew it. But the whole point is are you looking for a quality of life, or you just looking for 304s? And then everybody going to the same places to seek after 304s for their content. And then you get mad at somebody that's a YouTuber that messes with somebody that was in your video that was a 304. Keyword on for them, on for them. She's for the streets, for the soy. So at the end of the day, educate yourself, man. Don't travel just because somebody say, oh this, oh that, whatever. Do your research, study it, figure out what you want to do, you know, and then plan and go and execute. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, count the costs, you know, execute it. Um, I guess that's all I gotta say right now because it's getting to be like crazy, man. I haven't watched any recent videos here lately, but I just find it funny that these American men are saying that they want a traditional woman. Explain that to me, man. Explain that to me. Like, what do you consider a traditional woman in the U.S.? What do you consider a traditional woman in the U.S.? Please, I mean, break that down to me. Somebody comment and tell me, what do you consider a traditional woman? Because if you keeping it as a traditional woman, oh, she cooks, she clean, and okay, you can find cooking and cleaning here. So I guess the next thing you would say is, okay, she respect me as a man. Give her something to respect. Give the queen something to respect. If you living your lifestyle debauched over there, what made me think that you ain't living it a debauched life over here? And if you can't keep yourself and your pants up over here, what made me think that you're gonna be holding it down for the woman here and you not the problem? You ever thought that you could be the problem? Look at some of these passport clowns and look at what they doing and getting chased out of different countries and trying to go to other countries because they feel like they're not kings there or they don't feel like the women respect them there. But then they go to another richer part of that country and these women don't pay no attention to them because they got Skrilla too. All these countries ain't poor, baby. Some of these people got millions of dollars, gold mines, diamond mines, all that kind of stuff in Ghana and certain parts of Africa. Can't tell them nothing. But you come over there as you a passport dummy, thinking that you gonna flex on them, and they looking at you like you inferior, bro. Back up, take your little stuff and go somewhere else, and they basically push you out of that they little circle, bro. That's telling you you can't go everywhere and think that our money is what it is, or that people don't have what we have over here. And you talking about You looking for a traditional woman, but you all looking for women from the West. Because why are you looking for big buttocks, big legs, thick lips, toned skin, or color tone of their skin, their gray hair, their attitude. So if you want one that's gonna act and look a certain way, what you think you're gonna get? Traditional women don't do that, bro. I got a video coming up too. It's basically talking about a Japanese girl, young Japanese girl, 26 years old, and her dad is from where my mom's people are from. I think Bohemian. I think her folks are Bahamian too. Um, and you'll see how she's being treated because of her skin tone. She looks like a black Japanese girl. That's what she is. You know, her dad was Bahamian, her mom is Japanese, but no one knew that she spoke fluent Japanese because she was born and raised in Japan. She speaks English and Japan. Yes, she has tone to her skin. Yes, her skin tone makes her look different. Yes, she's a little taller because her dad was tall. Um, but it shows you how systemic racism or racism does exist even in within a culture because you're looking at a culture that's 90% culturally oriented to where everybody looks the same in Japan and a lot of these Asian countries. Any deviation of difference that makes you look different, they know it because 90%, 90, probably more than 90% of the individuals born and raised there, they all have the same identity as far as the way they look, from their hair to their face, their eyes. I'm not saying they all look the same as far as genetically the same, but as far as the eyes, the skin tone, the hair color, and things like that. So, it's a real strong point. It was really deep because she was saying how um, these individuals would, uh, put their hand over their mouths and whisper in Japanese in negative or derogatory words about her, or say stuff in to her friends like, "Teach this fool Japanese," and then she was speaking Japanese to them back, and then they look shocked. But I'm gonna show y'all some of that stuff because it's real. It's real. Like, you can find some real ones out here, and it's crazy that racism would exist in different cultures. No matter if you got a little 1% black or anything of color in you, a lot of times when you look slightly different, even in those countries, man, it can be a hard time for you too. So, it's real deep. It's a real deep video. I'm not gonna play all of that video, but I'm gonna support it and I'm gonna put it up there, and y'all gonna be able to check it out. But it's real deep, and it's real deep. It's cool though. It's something that we need to see, and how everybody need to see how it is for a Asian person of color, a Japanese person that's mixed with black or Bohemian, and how they're treated. So that's something that's gonna come up, and I'm gonna let y'all check that out. But look, I didn't wrapped it up. I didn't wrap my mouth, open my mouth, and talked a lot, for a while. So I'm about to pipe down and shut this thing down, man. And I hope y'all got some kind of education, some kind of knowledge, some kind of anything. But just make sure you do it for you first. Do the research, check it out, go with a positive mindset, figure out what you want to do. And I know a lot of people get attracted by the soys and all that kind of stuff, but just dare to be different. Dare to be different. Like I said, that's what I'm just doing. That's just me, just being different and just doing my thing, and just hope people enjoy it as I go through this learning process with the videos, the learning process with my microphones, my cameras, and all of that stuff. So just bear with me. But in between time and meantime, it's your boy Roll with Rio. I'm out, man. Don't forget, just be easy, be you. Just be you. Can I say that a third time? Just be you.